The ghosts of the Warsaw Ghetto. Do the spirits of history still remain? Welcome to Barking Dog Dark Moon. Tonight, we travel to Warsaw, Poland. This is not simply a ghost story, it is the story of a place where history left scars so deep that many believe they can still be felt today. Before the Second World War, Warsaw was home to one of the largest Jewish communities in Europe. Families raised children here. Businesses flourished, schools, synagogues, and neighborhoods were filled with life. Then everything changed. In 1940, after Nazi Germany occupied Poland, the Germans ordered the creation of the Warsaw Ghetto. Massive walls were built surrounding only a small section of the city. Within those walls, more than 400,000 Jewish men, women, and children were forced into an area barely large enough to support a fraction of that population. Families were separated, food became scarce, disease spread rapidly, people fought every single day simply to survive. Despite unimaginable suffering, life continued as best it could. Secret schools operated in hiding. Musicians still performed. Parents tried desperately to give their children moments of hope, even while living under impossible conditions. Then came the deportations. Beginning in 1942, hundreds of thousands of people were loaded onto trains and transported to the Treblinka extermination camp, where most were murdered shortly after arriving. Those who remained understood what awaited them. Rather than surrender without a fight, members of the Jewish resistance made an extraordinary decision. In April of 1943, they rose against the German occupation in what became known as the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. Poorly armed and vastly outnumbered, they held out for nearly a month. Although the uprising was ultimately crushed, it became one of history's most remarkable acts of courage against overwhelming odds. When the fighting ended, much of the Warsaw Ghetto had been reduced to rubble. Entire streets disappeared, homes vanished, communities that had existed for centuries were almost completely erased. Today, modern Warsaw stands where those neighborhoods once stood: office buildings, apartments, busy streets, people walking to work, children playing. To many visitors, it appears to be an ordinary European city. Yet beneath the pavement lies one of history's greatest tragedies. Over the decades, some visitors and residents have described experiences they cannot explain. Some have spoken of hearing footsteps in empty streets. Others describe an overwhelming feeling of sadness that seems to appear without warning. There are stories of whispers carried on the wind, distant voices where no one is present, and the unsettling feeling that someone is quietly standing just behind them. Some visitors have reported hearing what sounded like children laughing in places where no children were nearby. Others have described sudden chills on warm summer days or an overwhelming emotional presence that brought them to tears without understanding why. These accounts have become part of the area's modern folklore. Do they prove the existence of ghosts? No. There is no scientific evidence that the Warsaw Ghetto is haunted. Psychologists suggest that places connected to enormous human suffering can produce powerful emotional reactions. Knowing the history of a location may heighten our awareness, influence our perceptions, and make ordinary events seem extraordinary. Perhaps they are right, but perhaps the word ghost means something more than an apparition. Perhaps the real ghosts of the Warsaw Ghetto are memories, the memories of families who once laughed together, the memories of children who never had the chance to grow up, the memories of neighbors who vanished, the memories of courage shown by ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. History has a way of leaving echoes behind. Sometimes those echoes are found in books, sometimes they live within monuments, and sometimes they live inside us. Whether you believe the reported experiences are paranormal, psychological, or simply the emotional weight of history itself, one thing cannot be denied: the Warsaw Ghetto should never be forgotten, not because of ghost stories, but because of the people whose lives were forever changed there. Their story deserves to be remembered. Thank you for joining me here on Barking Dog Dark Moon. Until next time, sleep well if you can.